Good morning, internets. This is the Played Out Podcast, a bi-weekly show dedicated to movies, comics, games, and all things nerdy. This week on the program, Brandon and Todd were unable to join us, but we were lucky enough to have FamiFlash media writer Brian Huskey. Thanks again to ACME Comics in Longwood, Florida for hosting us, and if you enjoy what you hear, please subscribe to us on iTunes. Thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoy. Who are you, and what is your all-time favorite video game? Let's start down there on the end with our special guest.
Oh, hi. I'm Brandon. My favorite video game is Pokemon.
Which one?
All.
Pokemon All. Not familiar with that one. Sounds like it stinks.
It's the opposite of none. There's two. There's Pokemon All and none.
Since he doesn't feel like introducing himself, that is Brian, who is a member of the FamiFlash family.
Hello.
Family.
Brian, how would you describe your role in FamiFlash?
I co-host play video games with Matt, the other FamiFlash video game player.
He's an expert in online gaming.
I'm really good at it.
And he can draw.
What's your favorite online game?
League of Legends.
Yeah.
By default, because it's the only one I play.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
What have you been playing lately on the stream?
It's a game that Mateo plays. It's Dark Dracula's Blood, I think.
So are you just color commentary right now? Like he's just playing and you're just sitting there putting up with him?
Well, I wouldn't. It's not so much putting up with him. It's I advise him.
Things he's doing wrong.
Yeah. And I read the posts in the stream to him.
Oh, okay.
I try to anyway. He usually reads them
it's
himself.
A very important role.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Very fun.
And next in line we've got...
I am Matt Too Cool Heimerl, and my favorite game of all time would have to be between a couple games.
Oh, for God's sake.
The first one, the thing that always comes to mind when I think of my favorite video game will be Legend of Dragoon for PS1.
All right.
Now, I love that game. That game has strong sentimental value to me, even more so than Final Fantasy VII. But I can easily say either Castlevania or Contra for NES are also up there. But if I had to put my finger on one, it would be Legend of Dragoon for PS1. Because it's just a great game, great RPG. Check it out, and if you don't, then I won't talk to you, and possibly will punch you in the face. Thank you.
And my name is Nick, and my favorite video game, close call between Castlevania and Final Fantasy VII.
Yay!
And oddly enough, in my heart, it's Castlevania.
Which Castlevania?
Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
The only Castlevania.
You had to differentiate because otherwise Matt loves or hates you.
Oh, that's true.
No, Symphony of the Night's not just a bad game. It'd be a good game if it was called Symphony of the Night. But it's not Castlevania.
It is, though.
No, how could it not be Castlevania?
Because it's the only game that you have all these stupid button combinations to do these attacks.
Not
like
the
you have
only
all
ones.
these crazy-ass spells. Like, no, you need Boomerang, you need Dagger, you need Axe, you need Holy Water.
You get all
those. You need
those.
Whip extensions. No, you don't need these wings where you can fly. You don't need get these magical boots. You don't need this life drain attack. You go, oh, let's do a Hadouken, then rotate this way and like blow up the screen. No, that's not Castlevania.
So they based the entire game off the classic Castlevanias and then added some shit, and because of that, fuck that game.
Yes, completely. The soundtrack's good. That is a very awesome soundtrack.
So is the game.
But I could not get into that game for that fact. I don't like having to memorize a bunch of moves.
You could turn on Richter mode.
And you could
play as Richter.
Sure, Richter.
You could also beat the game without using those moves at all, which I beat the game the first time without knowing that any of those
Can't
existed.
you can play as, was it Simon Belmont, or if you beat it, you can play with the original?
Richter.
Yeah.
You play with Richter?
Yeah, you can do Richter.
And he doesn't have those moves, right? It's just the normal stuff? Or
yeah, I don't think he even gets different weapons.
He just gets his whip.
See, that's the only way it should be played. But,
so beat the game, and then you can play it as Richter.
But I have to play it through the first time. I can't do it.
Exactly, it's fun.
It goes against my nature.
You can actually name your save file Richter, and that will turn on Richter mode, and then you can just play as Richter, and you don't even have to play as Alucard.
Well, maybe I'll check it out.
That's what we'll do. I'll send you my saved file of the one that I beat, and then you can just put in Richter and play as Richter.
I'll get back to you on next cast.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some movies. This week, was a very strange week for movies because there wasn't much going on, but there were several very weird announcements made. So tell me if you guys have heard of any of these yet. Paramount is trying to buy the rights for Terminator 5.
No, but I'm intrigued by that because I think the Terminator franchise needs another one, and it needs to do better.
Didn't they end it in Salvation?
Well, that's kind of what I thought.
No, it never ends. There's always that thing about the Terminator movies. At the end, there's always that classic final scene where it's just like, oh, it's dead, and all of a sudden just pans away, and it's like all of a sudden like, there's like a little robot getting up or some like beam of light sticking out of the ground. And you're just like, are you serious? It's still going on.
So wait, so are you saying that Wall-E could have been like a bridge between Terminator 4 and Terminator 5?
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. They're doing a collaboration thing. So
I would see that.
And now that Arnold's back into acting, he could step back into the Terminator role.
Oh yeah, interesting you would bring that up because they didn't say anything about it, but the like picture of it on the article was Arnold. No mention of Christian Bale at all. So that's what I have mixed feelings on it because I do enjoy the Terminator series, but I really could do without another one.
Yeah. I mean, it really they have to go back like old school, like the first or second one. The Salvation was complete garbage.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that made it somewhat awesome was what's his name? He was in
Christian Bale.
No, he was in the Clash of the Titans movie. He was like the main guy in it.
The English guy.
He was in Avatar, the main guy from Avatar.
I know him. I don't know the actor's name.
He's I like that's the first movie I saw him in. I thought he did a really good job, even though I didn't really understand his role in that movie.
He was the robot.
Yeah, but he wasn't like the bad bro. He was a good guy, but like
that was his role. He was like, not all machines are bad. I'm cool.
Yeah, but it's like.
And then he died.
Did he die?
Spoiler.
That's bullshit. What is his name? I keep wanting to say John Candy. I know it's not John Candy.
James Spader.
No, James Spader. I hate James Spader.
So also, Fox is apparently developing a choose-your-own-adventure movie. Have you heard about this yet?
No.
I'm so happy for this idea.
No.
I don't know how it could work.
All you have to do, it's like American Idol. You give everybody in the audience a remote, and whoever gets the percentage vote, it carries into the next scene.
You saying that just reminds me of that episode in Futurama where it's like, do you want Calculon to A, go to the fight scene in his hover fry, or B, file his taxes? Everybody presses A, and it's just him like, you need to carry the one. And
yeah,
awesome now.
That seems to be the only way they could possibly do it, is to have some kind of audience feedback thing. But
I'd be so happy going to see that movie like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Especially if they say there's like 7 different endings, so you have to go and get each one. So people just have to keep going back. Everybody in the theater's like, all right, everybody press 3 for this next part, and see what happens. And
that could cause a lot of fights that way too, though.
I would go just pick one every time, just because.
You don't even know what one is.
It doesn't matter.
One.
So I'm number 1, baby. What's up? I mean.
So there's also apparently going to be a sequel for 300.
Yes.
I knew you'd be excited about that. 300 Rise of an Empire.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be horrible, but I will see it because it looks like it's not Zack Snyder. He's not doing it, right?
Oh, I don't know, actually. They didn't mention anything about it.
It looks like they're keeping the same style visually, but I don't believe it's Zack Snyder.
And the movie poster, have you seen the movie poster?
No.
It's just a dude standing there. I'm not even kidding. It's a dude standing there with like a sword and then just a wave of blood. Like a straight up ocean wave of blood.
Yes.
And that's kind of what worries me because I'm worried they're going to go to like B-movie with it or something. Like, that first one was based on the comic, which was based on like that actual event that happened, at least loosely.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
sure this one will have no factual relevance to what happened.
I'm worried, but cautiously worried. Like, I'm also hopeful that this one could be at least an enjoyable ride, at least a rental.
Yeah, I don't think they brought anybody back. They didn't bring anybody back from the first one. The guy who talks like this.
I really hope they don't bring him back.
That guy's awesome.
You didn't like him?
I didn't like his voice.
Oh, I see.
I like that he was missing an eye.
And we stand on the battlefield, ready to strike our foes with our spears and shields. That's pretty good, right?
This is the point of the show where Brian and I are just going to leave and Matt's going to recite the entire 300 script.
I could do it. That's what we should do. We should reenact that and then follow it up with Apollo 13. That'd be awesome.
In that voice.
In that voice.
Okay, and then the last weird bit of news about movies. There is going to be a 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
God, just let it go. Just let it die. If I see Johnny Depp in one more movie, I will murder everybody.
Well,
you're going to murder a lot of people.
Is there a role that he will not whore himself out to do?
Lone Ranger looks badass.
I'm surprised we're not seeing him as the new Superman. Like, seriously, like his role stretched so far out. He's now going to be in the new... What's the new one coming out? The cowboy movie?
Lone Ranger.
Lone Ranger. He's playing an Indian now? Like
he's like 1/8 Cherokee.
But he's playing Jack Sparrow. Like he looks the same, he sounds the same, and he's acting the same. It's I'm so sick of Johnny Depp. The only movie I liked him in was
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Sweeney Todd. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name. Sweeney Todd.
Oh, my God. All right, let's talk about video games. All right, so, Matt, you also just recently joined the League of Legends Nation. How does that feel? Tell us about your League of Legends experience. Actually, you know what? No, let's start from the beginning. Tell everyone listening what League of Legends is, why they should care about it, and how you're finding your experience so far.
League of Legends is a MOBA, a massive online battle arena, basically where you take control of a champion and you're with either 4 other players, 2 other players, or 1 other player. I think the new mode, you can do 2 versus 2 or something like that is coming out. But basically, you have these towers you have to destroy, get into the enemy base, and destroy like their nexus and basically like their whole shit. And it's really cool. There's like over 100 characters you can choose from, and each have like their own abilities. You can be like a tank, an assassin, a support, a fighter, jungler, all these different kind of things you can do. And it's extremely addicting. When I first played it, I despised it because I'm horrible with learning new controls that are like very advanced. But now that I'm injured, I have more time to play it, and I'm extremely addicted. And it's probably one of the coolest games I've ever played. And it's free. You can spend money to unlock characters, but you can also, every time you win a round, you get these points. You can save those up to unlock characters. So it's all completely free. And it's done by Riot Games, and they're very cool. They're very nice people.
So Brian, you are also a player of League of Legends. So what do you think of the game?
Brian's the best jungler ever.
It's fun. The jungler. I just want to explain that.
Yeah, go for it.
There's no jungle in League of Legends, but there's a forest, and you should be called a forester.
Yeah.
But I think at that point they'd expect you to chop down logs and trees and stuff. So.
So what does a jungler / forester do?
You basically ignore the game, and you fight mobs as at your own pace, and then sometimes you pay attention to other people and you try to get them kills.
No, jungler is super important. And
it's very important.
You do very good at it. You have to we do beginner bots, so it's a little more, it's a little simpler to do in beginner bots, but like more advanced like PvP. The jungler is responsible for like setting up wards and preventing like ganks from the other team, and like initiating attacks in lanes to help like people push forward. And it's very big at coordinating with your teammates. And if you like aren't good at communication, then you'll be like a horrible jungler on like professional levels.
Yeah, I am guilty of that.
I mean, there's a very, very steep learning curve for this game. I mean, you can't just jump in and be awesome at it because, I mean, everybody you go up against has their pros and cons, and you have to know where their weaknesses lie, be able to like react before they're like, to be able to dodge their certain abilities. Otherwise, like you'll get locked down and get like completely owned. So it's some serious shit, but it's fun, man. And if you've never tried it, I mean, you should. I mean, it's a free game. I mean, what do you have to lose? Just give it a try and add me as a friend, MattyJ311. What's up?
Aren't you guys streaming League of Legends?
I'm going to start streaming League of Legends, yes, on my Twitch account, MattyJ311. So once I get to 30, we're going to start a league team, and we're going to take over the world. Go NA, what's up? It's North America.
Oh, okay.
I recently switched to the South American servers.
I've been messing around on the EU servers myself. Interesting stuff going on over there.
Anti-American bastards.
So wait, is that how the tournaments work? You're divided up into region or whatever?
I believe so.
Yeah. If you're playing on you can play on other servers, but it's like the Olympics. Like if you're going to go into a tournament, you have to play from the country that you're in. So you play on the NA server, but you can play with other people and join their teams. But I think if you can be invited in, but if you're making a team, you have to be, I think, from that specific region.
Oh, I see.
Because you can't be like, okay, I'm on Team EU and I live in America. Like it's just like, no, you're not fighting for those people.
Those people, huh?
Yeah.
Europeans?
Not Americans.
The Yerps.
Did you just invent a racial slur for Europeans?
I don't think it's that antagonistic.
The Yerps?
Damn Yerps.
I'll allow it.
They call us Yanks.
It's true.
Oh, okay.
They call us much worse
That's
than
true.
that. I was listening to a guy last night. He's playing in Denmark, and he was making fun of Americans. He was trying to do a hillbilly voice, and it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life because having that kind of accent, doing a hillbilly, he's American. I was just like, really? Like, I think
generally
like
what we sound like.
1%, not even.
I flash back to my childhood right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So it was, it was pretty funny. So yeah, League of Legends, what's up?
Yeah, you do meet some like interesting people on League of Legends.
Very frustrating people.
Yeah, some very frustrating, some very weird.
I used F.
Yeah, I used F. Yeah. So, all right, just real quick, I'll just tell you the story in the game. We were playing, and I was with this guy who was playing a character called Timo. I was supporting him in the bottom lane, which is I'm supposed to help him get kills, and so we can push the lane and stuff like that. And essentially, I kept taking kills because he wasn't really doing what he was supposed to be doing. So, and I wasn't trying to; I was just helping attack him.
No, wait. You're as a support character, you're not supposed to take kills.
I'm
right?
not supposed to
Normally.
take kills,
Not at
right?
all.
Because I want them to get the gold and the money, so they can build their items faster, become stronger, and we can push that much quicker.
Okay.
But if he's running away and the guys are the other way, and it's 1 or 2 hits away, I'd rather take the kill. That way we have X amount of time before he spawns again. We can push forward. Why would I let him get away? That's just stupid. So anyway, the guy's running away, and he runs into the bushes, and like he's like inches away from death. So I took the kill from him. And he just started like freaking out, you owe me a double kill. You stole that. I was like, dude, you were about to die. He's like, I hit F, And so I'm guessing he had heal on that, but heal gives you like 1 hit back. Like that, he would have died. He was a squishy character going up against a tank.
Yeah.
And he would have just died. So next time he came back, I let him get like a double kill, and he's like, thank you. And I just kept like just making fun. I was like, wow, man, you didn't do. Change your fucking pants and stuff like that. Sorry.
I think you told him to dry those little eyes.
Yeah, I was like, dry those. I was like, there you go. Now you can dry those little eyes when you got those. And it was just, I was like, that's just funny. I lost it. He was like, I hit F, And I was just like, oh, you hit F. How could I come? I didn't realize you hit F. So it was just, it was funny stuff. I guess you had to be there, but it was humorous to me.
Yeah, no, people freaking out in that game is always an enjoyable
Especially in
thing.
beginner bots, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody, if you're that good, play intermediate or play PvP. Like, we're here to learn, to mess up, make mistakes. And I'm not purposely trying to take stuff, and it's just, it's just that's frustrating. But people take it a little too seriously for non-tournament, for being extremely low level.
And so just to bookend this whole conversation, so this is actually a really popular game now, right?
It's extremely popular.
Very, very
It's
much
definitely
so.
the most popular. There's a couple other ones. It's called Heroes of New Earth, and there's Dota too out there. It's like people compare those games to like different consoles. Like you're either for it or against it. You're this side or that side. There are people who love Dota and Heroes, and they hate League of Legends. But they're all essentially the same game. They all came from
I disagree with that statement completely.
sorry about that. They're all they all came from a Warcraft 3 mod. It was,
It
was Defense of the Ancients. Is that what it was called?
the original
Dota.
Dota.
Dota. Yeah, the original Dota. And so this was a different take off of it. But it's so much more smooth. There's more characters, and it's more interactive. I feel. I mean, the videos that I've checked out and stuff I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain without really seeing it, but yes, League of Legends is the more popular one, and there are millions upon millions of people playing this, and there's some serious cash going around for it. The team that just won one of the pro circuits, the team just walked away with I think $500,000. So you split that 5 ways. I mean, you just won $100,000 for playing a video game. I mean, granted, cool. You're unbelievable at it, but I mean, just the ways you can make money in this world is amazing. I mean, you have a passion, and you can take it to that point where you're successful and you can make a living off of it. It's a great time to be alive.
And what do you do, sir? I click a mouse very quickly.
Yeah. But, I mean, dude, just imagine the ass these guys must get over in their country. I mean, these Koreans...
They're usually pretty fat.
Yeah, but this guy, Mad Life, he's actually in pretty good shape. He's actually a pretty handsome Korean. But he does amazing stuff with this character Thresh, so I'm trying to emulate my style afterwards. Just watching him play, it'll make anybody cry. These team moves he makes are just out of control. So I'm obsessed with the game now. It's like it's over obsession.
I played a PvP game with Scott, and I was playing against this Nunu, which is a fat Yeti. Well, actually, that's the kid that rides on the Yeti's back. But anyway... he blew my mind. The things he was doing, like he was messing with my head.
What was he doing?
Just like he would like, you can come and hit me. It's okay. And then he was like behind me, and he was just beating me, and I was like, how did you do this?
So did he like flash behind you? Flash is like a move that lets you teleport a short distance.
Not even.
Oh, really?
He just made me feel so like comfortable with attacking him. He was like, yeah, that's it. Just do that some more. And then I had no health, and I think we lost that game in like 15 minutes.
All right, well, let's pry ourselves away from the League of Legends discussion for the moment, and let's talk E3 because that's happening.
Yay. No.
And so obviously the main event, Xbox versus PlayStation. But first, let's talk about some games that are coming out. So we've got the list here. I'll just run through it real quick, and we can talk about whatever we feel like. Assassin's Creed 4 is coming. Battlefield 4 is coming. What? No, you're not allowed to claim Battlefield 4. You just changed your pre-order. You punk. Call of Duty Ghosts is coming, which if you're excited about that, turn off the podcast right now.
Which game was that?
Call of Duty Ghosts?
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Oh, dude, Call of Duty Ghosts looks amazing.
I know. It's you know what it is? Every single Call of Duty that comes out, it's like, oh my god, it looks so cool, and then I play it, and it's like it's the same shit as
what's Ghosts?
All these are the same. It follows the character Ghost from so it's him and like his team and stuff like that, and it just looks odd. I think this is going to be actually the first Call of Duty in a while that's going to have a fantastic campaign mode. It looks like it's heavily centered on a specific character and group, and it's not just like, all right, Black Ops 2, you're playing these guys. Like this is centered around a specific person. So I think the story mode is really going to be well done in this. I hope at least, because Call of Duty needs a good campaign mode. I wasn't too happy with the last couple.
Ghost is dead.
No, this is supposed to be like it's supposed to be earlier on.
Oh, I thought it was maybe the story of Ghost's ghost.
No, but it's supposed to take place before he.
I'm not buying it.
We've got Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which I wasn't a big fan of 1, but this is
dude, Lords of Shadow 1 has the best Castlevania ending ever. Like,
well,
ever.
Don't spoil it.
No, I won't. I'm just saying, if you're a Castlevania fan, you have to play the first Lords of Shadow. The game itself is okay. I'm not a big fan of that style for Castlevania because it's basically Devil May Cry with a whip. And I'm not a big Devil May Cry fan. But the story and the ending to that game will blow your effing mind if you're a Castlevania fan.
Is that the one that we checked out, Nick?
I think we played the demo of it. And that's, remember, I was like, it's basically Devil May Cry.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It ties everything together. Everything.
Even Symphony of the Nights?
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, seriously, when you beat the game and you watch, like, the credits and afterwards, you'll be like, you won't even be able to sing.
Well, now I have to buy the game because I've never heard you upsell something this hard.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's awesome. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of that style, but the story and ending to that game. Or just look it up online. Just watch it. If you don't want to play the whole game.
I got to play the game to get it.
Well, if you're not a big Castlevania fan.
Do you own it?
No, I'm a huge Castlevania fan.
Steve owns it. But I have been wanting to get it, but I spent my money on Ultimate Marvel Capcom 3.
Civilization 5 is coming out. Which
Yay!
all right, Brian's a fan. Matt doesn't care.
Nick turned me on to Civ.
I've never played Civ, so I really don't know anything about it. So
one of the most addictive games I've ever played.
I like political victories.
is it?
Yeah,
is
I
it
like cultural.
Is it like a Command & Conquer real-time strategy game, or is it like more of a Sim City style?
It's more Sim City than
A blend
anything.
of both without the best elements of each.
That's actually a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
I'm a little turned on right now.
Yeah, because it is like you can send armies after people, but since it's turn by turn, sometimes it gets very frustrating because you'll be like moving in on an enemy city, and then they'll just have like airplanes chilling in their city and then just kill all your shit because you had to end your turn like 1 square away from the city. So the best strategy of the game is to get a cultural victory. It's like talking to a
So
wall
it's a
right
big
now.
version of Mule, essentially.
Yes. A new Command & Conquer is apparently coming out, which is potentially exciting.
Which is weird because they just released like the ultimate super duper pack that has like every single Command & Conquer game in it. So now it doesn't surprise me that they're coming out with a new one. But
The last Command & Conquer game, Miriam Stockley sang on the soundtrack of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It also had armored bears, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
the last one I played was Generals, I believe. That was the last one I played.
Generals is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
only one I
Generals was
played.
really fun.
But nothing tops Red Alert. Red Alert's the best one, in my opinion.
And Red Alert.
I think Generals was the one that Miriam sang on then, right?
Generals? No, Generals was like
We are
long time ago.
generals, commanding and conquering
right.
She
nations.
just sang on one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Generals was the one with China and Kazakhstan.
Oh,
China
I
the
think
Wrestler
you're right.
and Kazakhs.
For those of you
League.
trying to follow the conversation, a friend of ours sang on Command & Conquer.
Yay.
Not my friend.
A friend of Brian and I's.
Okay, I don't know who you're talking about. But I'm excited for your friend.
My ex-girlfriend's mom.
Nice.
So you met Carly before, right? Never.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Nick, you're a ladies man. Every week you got new ladies in and out, son. What's up?
That is true. Final Fantasy XIV re-release.
Yes. I'm excited, but I'm not at the same time because I want to get it, but I'm afraid I'm going to be let down, and most likely will be.
It costs money to play.
It does cost money to play. I bought the original 14, or Brian and I both did, when it first came out. We were so excited, and then I think we both hugged and cried for about 2 days straight at how horrible the game was.
And didn't you guys buy like that?
I bought the collector's
Collector's
edition, like
edition.
everything. I was so fired up. And now I'll have to rebuy it again. The new one looks amazing because they fired the original developer, like the original team, and they brought in the team that does 11, and 11's amazing. So the reason that the game was so horrible was the questing system. It limited the amount you could do per day. So if you get like 3 quests, and then that was it. There was no more quests you could do. You could just run around and randomly kill stuff.
You
But
could craft.
you could craft, but even the crafting quests were limited as well. So I mean, you could do a quest for a class, switch your class, do a quest, switch a class, but there are classes I don't want to play. I want to focus on this one specific thing. So they wanted you to do like everything, and they did it so you can't stay online for like 24 hours straight and just play, which is really, really stupid. If I'm paying,
It's dumb to prevent people from binging on things that are contrary to.
If you're paying for it.
No, I know.
If I'm paying for it, and not everybody can play that often. If I have, say I have 1 day off a week, if I want to spend that whole day playing this game, I should
see.
have that right. I'm paying money to do so.
I see.
So, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but you can't dictate how long somebody plays. If it was free, go ahead. Tell me how long I can play. But if I'm paying for it, I'm going to get my money's worth.
Very true.
So hopefully they'll change the questing system in this, and they added a few more classes, advanced classes, brought back Paladin, Monk, all those kind of things. So it looks really cool. I just hope they don't mess it up.
Get rid of quests.
Yeah,
I've been
I like
waiting
the-
for a game to do that.
I like the Dark Ages formula where you leveled up until
go into a camp.
the
with
end tier, and then you did some quests to get really cool armor, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm down with that.
that's the whole reason that I played an MMO. Was you get together with a group of people, you went to a camp, and you just spend hours farming the same monsters, just having fun. Whereas World of Warcraft, the only time you got into group with people is when you needed to do a dungeon. That was it.
Yeah.
You don't quest with people, and if you quest, it's boring. You just want to get the quest done as quick as possible and move on. You don't want to wait for other people to get it done. It's just, so just.
That's where City of Heroes got it right too. Is where the grouping actually had a purpose, and it was fun. And
Dude, doing sewer runs in the beginning was awesome.
Oh my god, that was the greatest. All right, new Final Fantasy. On top of 14, there is a new Final Fantasy coming. Matt looks dismayed. Brian looks cautiously hopeful.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it looks. I think it's straying too far from the original formula. I love
Yeah,
Final
because
Fantasies.
it looks like 12, and you didn't like 12.
Well, it's not that I didn't like. I didn't give 12 a fair chance. You know, like I played it. Yeah, I didn't like that style. 13 was similar to it, and I like 13s. But I want the random encounters. I want 8. I want 7. I want 9. I want even 10s. 10s was fine. But 13, I didn't. I don't want more of that. And this one, like in the video, you're like running and diving behind tables and crouching. Like what?
He was climbing a skyscraper with his sword.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is it? It doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game, to me. It feels like I'm playing, I don't know, a Metal Gear or a whatever type of Bayonetta. It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy to me, and that's what it's what I'm worried about. So, and also, I probably won't be getting a PS4, so therefore, I really don't care.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of true. This is all sort of academic based on people getting this. Like, for me, I know it'll, rather than, which we'll get to the numbers in just a minute here, but even at the price that it comes in at, for $100 more, you can buy yourself an insane gaming computer.
Before, just going to stray off just for 1 second. I just want to get some off my chest real quick. That really pissed me off about this E3, talking about the consoles, is my biggest thing that I hate about new consoles is games that are coming out that are specific to those consoles only. They're remaking Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for so long for them to make that, and it's only going to be exclusive to Xbox One. That is stupid. Final Fantasy originally was going to be exclusive to PS4. Now it's being shifted to where it's now going to be cross-platformed.
Oh, really?
I hate the idea of one system getting these games. I don't understand being exclusive to one system. I mean, it's just like, I'm not going to buy an Xbox One. First off, that system looks like complete shit.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm not going to buy a $500 system for a $60 game. I did that already, and that was for Bad Company. It was the best investment I ever made in my life.
This is true.
Because that game is absolutely amazing. But it just frustrated me because I was like, okay, they're getting Killer Instinct good. At least we're going to get Final Fantasy. Xbox can shove it up their ass. Now, oh no, we're going to go ahead and port that over too. Kingdom Hearts, same exact thing. We're going to go ahead and put it on both systems. Nothing's going to be exclusive to Sony. So it's just like I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Rent off.
Speaking of which, Metal Gear Solid 5, which was originally going to be PlayStation only, and it's now cross-system.
Isn't he dead yet?
I think that's the dilemma that you face in this game.
He never dies.
He's like 85 years old, but he's still smoking, apparently.
He actually looks really young in the gameplay footage, so I'm not sure if this is like a harkening back or he's a new clone or something like that.
I am excited.
Well, you're a Metal Gear fan, right?
I enjoyed watching Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
Well, you only played like 15 minutes of that game.
Yeah, that's what this one looks like too, doesn't it?
36-hour game,
Yeah.
15 minutes of gameplay.
Plus, Kiefer Sutherland is doing the voice of Solid Snake.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind it, but I mean, David Hayter is Solid Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Kiefer Sutherland is not a gamer. He's never played video games. He's never played any of the Metal Gear series.
He's a voice actor.
He loves money.
But he's not a voice actor. Like, this is his first time doing this. So.
I thought he'd done like Disney villains and shit before.
Well, I mean, for a game, I think he's probably done like movies and stuff. But I mean, for a video game, like for something like Solid Snake, you don't bring somebody in who's never done a voiceover for a video game,
He did the voice of Jack Bauer in the 24 video game.
Wow, you blew my mind there. Did he?
Wow. All right, so he's got some video game training. Does that change your mind at all?
Brian just completely shit on over my whole argument.
I'm so sorry.
So now you just have to sit there and take it, basically.
Yeah, no. Fine, Keith Sutherland, have your game.
Pokemon XY.
I already deserve my copy.
Pokemon X, why would I care about another Pokemon game? Face!
You should care about this one because in this one, the evolutions aren't one or you can...
Breathe.
Okay. So, for instance, really quickly, I don't want to get into this too much, but say you have water frog Pokemon, right? He evolves into bigger water frog Pokemon, but then his third evolution can be any element. instead of just water.
Oh.
So you can actually have variations of the same Pokemon
I don't know if I agree with
under
that.
different elements. You should, because it's
like
new and exciting.
It's like
That's
a
cool.
tadpole into like something into a bear.
No. He'd
Like, it
still
doesn't make
basically be a frog, but he could be, instead of a water frog, he could be like a lava frog, or like
Yes.
a poison frog, or like a shadow frog, or a steel frog, or a ground frog.
How
or a
can
rock
water
frog.
turn to steel? Like, I don't understand.
It doesn't matter. It's genetics. That's why it's X and Y.
I thought X and Y was like having sex with like females.
Yes.
He's gonna have sex with a steel frog.
Yes.
The water steel. He's gonna make liquid steel like that Terminator.
Liquid snake.
And now a word from our sponsors while we explain to Matt where babies come from. This is how I feel about Pokemon. I am excited for others to have it. I could personally, yes, I could care less. I'm glad it's going to exist and that it's going to make you happy.
I tried it. I just can't. I'm so far behind in it that I don't. It's too overwhelming. Therefore, I really don't have an interest in it.
I played Blue. That was sufficient.
I played about an hour of Red.
Yeah.
Caught some kind of ratatang or something.
Well, did you play it recently or when you were a child?
Recently.
Oh, okay. So I played it when I was like in 7th grade. So it was much more entertaining back then. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
The remake, the HD remake looks really cool.
Yeah.
Looks
So
really
do you
cool.
know anything about that? I'm not a Nintendo person, so I don't know much about that.
They're basically just increasing the graphics, adding in a few more things to the game. I think a few more side things you can do. But I mean, ultimately, it's the same game. They're just, remakes are good, but I think their efforts should be better spent on a new Zelda game.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Wind Waker is Wind Waker already looked amazing. And I'm not a cel-shaded fan, but Wind Waker looked amazing, and I don't think remaking it in HD is really going to show the capabilities of what the Wii U's HD processor can do and what it's capable of.
I see.
So if people are going to enjoy it, it's going to look good, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, that looks amazing. To where if you remade 7 on like a PS4, like that transition, it's not going to be that much of a difference. It's going to be sharper, maybe a little more smooth, but I don't think you can really do that much to it. But I mean, Wind Waker looks fun. That's probably one of the few Zelda games that I want to play because it looks like a lot of fun, and it takes place on water and wind.
The game takes place on water and wind?
Yeah, because you're on like a sailboat, and wind takes you from place to place in like the sailboat.
Oh,
And I watch people speed run that game, and it's crazy stupid how they figured that out.
fair enough.
Yep, thank you.
So let's move on to our main event in the discussion, which
Bing,
this
bing,
has been dominating the internets since the announcements. PlayStation 4 versus Xbox. So before we get to statistics, where do you guys weigh in on this?
PS4.
Boo for both.
Boo for both. I'm with you actually, Brian. I'm a F this. I'm just gonna get a PC or upgrade a PC.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to end up getting either because I just can't afford it. But if I'm looking at which one I think is the better system, like I have to go with PS4 because I like what they're doing, and I first of all I hate Xbox. I've always hated Xbox. I've known people who have lost so many for that effing red ring, and it's just it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you're charging to pay online, and now what they're doing with the Xbox One, it just
Which is they're not allowing you to.
you're not going to be able to. Your used games are going to be limited. It's not backwards compatible.
You have to be signed in, right?
You have to be connected to the internet
to
at
play.
all times. Every hour, it's going to connect. If you're not connected, you cannot play games, even offline.
yeah.
Stupid.
So it's just like, if I don't want to play online, like
What if I have a terrible internet connection?
Yeah. So I can't play my games. That's stupid. Oh, let me bring my game to my friend's house. Oh, sorry, you can't do that. You can't go ahead and share games. Like, what? I don't understand the purpose of that. And people who are supporting it, it blows my mind. I think people who are supporting it are realizing that they're effing morons, and they don't want to admit that, Xbox is stupid, so I'm just going to support it. I know so many people who are just like, the system just looks great. No, it doesn't. There's nothing you can say that can justify you supporting this system for what they're doing. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of the system specs. They both have 8 gigs of RAM. PlayStation's got GDDR5. Xbox has DDR3. They both have 8-core processors. So again, this is where I'd like to relodge my complaint So Xbox is priced at $500, $49.99. PlayStation's coming in at $400. And for $500, you could build a computer with these specs and just have an operating system that you could do any number of things on, not just play games in a heavily restricted manner.
Yep.
Yeah.
They both have 500 gigabyte hard drive. So I mean, basically, these systems are what the computer we're recording this podcast on right now runs.
But you have to also understand is that when this comes out, you build a computer for that amount of money with that spec.
Yeah.
You know, in a year from now, when those games come out, those better games can still be played on that. Those better games might not be able to be played on. Your system might be obsolete by then, so you'll have to spend the money upgrading it. You know, I mean, I see your point, but it's just like if you're comparing, like if you were to build a system that's better than that for like a little bit more, then I could be like, okay, in long term, yes, but if you're just going to build a system for $500, long term, that these systems are going to shit all over it. Considering that they've got built in all this stuff that you'll have to install and configure and do all that stuff on yours.
Well, there is also the possibility, though, of having a system that can run, and this is piracy essentially, but just downloading the Xbox One emulator. If you got the system specs to handle it, and someone's going to crack it eventually.
Oh, yeah, I mean, eventually, yeah, all that stuff's going to be.
What's the difference between building that system for $500 and the Xbox when a new game comes out for the Xbox One? You know what I mean? Like, how is it going to be outside of the parameters of the Xbox One?
Well, I mean, say you build a computer and you have the Xbox One.
Yeah.
All right, they come out.
Same specs.
Yeah. Okay. Battlefield 4 comes out.
Yeah.
They both run great.
Yeah.
Battlefield 5 comes out. Battlefield 5 will run great on the Xbox because it's made for that. When it comes out for PC, it's going to require higher demanding specs, so it will not run as well. Therefore, you're going to have to pay to upgrade the PC to be able to run.
That's what I don't get. Like, how are the specs going to be so much different between the computer and the Xbox when they're the same?
Because I mean, console software and tech is built differently than the PC and how it's run. Because operating systems, all that kind of stuff, it's just they're designed like on the disks. They can push a certain amount that the system can handle, but a computer
like overclocking.
Yeah, exactly. And the computer has to. There's so much more going on in a PC than on a console. You know, PCs are meant to do more, whereas a console is built to do just one thing. Although now that the Xbox One is basically claiming to be able to do everything and watch your every single movement. Yeah. Did you hear what they're doing with Netflix?
No, what are they doing?
They're signed a deal with Netflix to where now they're going to charge you depending on how many people are watching because it's got to connect. So basically, if you're watching a movie and more people come in the room, you're going to be charged more because more. Regardless if they're watching it or not, regardless if somebody comes in and just like sits down and is facing the other direction playing a game, they're still in the room. So It's just creepy that they're monitoring how many people are in your room. You know, I don't.
And the Kinect is built in the Xbox One?
Yeah, isn't the Kinect required now too?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, all right,
and that's why it's like you always have to be connected. Like, so it's like, what is the ultimate purpose? You know, not to sound like there's a conspiracy going on, but it's just.
Well, they're trying to nickel and dime the gamers. Essentially,
I just
don't.
I don't
very
understand.
Intrusive. Besides the money, you know, that's not an invasion.
I know there's gonna be people out there who say you don't understand. I'm saying stuff wrong, whatever. But regardless, if you're an Xbox fan, you support this system, then I have no respect for you.
When you match things up so we've got a chart open in front of us that does. There really is not much of an incentive to go for this Xbox. Mandatory game installs on the PlayStation, that's a no. Xbox, you have to install the games.
Yep.
You can't share games amongst your friends on the Xbox. The way they explained it is if you want to show someone a game, you have to physically go to their house or have them log in under your username, and they can play it that way, and that's it.
Which is a violation of their privacy agreement because you're not supposed to share your password or anything with anyone else.
That's true.
Yeah.
Required internet connection, PlayStation no, Xbox yes. Used game fee, so far PlayStation is not going to have a used game fee. Xbox says they will have some sort of fee, and they're going to figure out a way to handle the used game.
What is that if I went to GameStop and I bought a used game?
That's the thing is,
you can't do that.
They're not. The Xbox is saying they're going to leave it up to the developers for the Xbox whether they want to do it. But if you buy a used game, you have to pay to activate it on your system. Not only are you buying the game, but you have to buy the license to use it on your system because somebody else.
So
already
essentially,
has it.
if you bought a used game, it would just be made full price.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So there's no point.
Yeah, more or less. Neither of the systems have backwards compatibility, which seems kind of crappy to me.
I don't understand.
It's expected nowadays.
I don't understand that, but
That's kind of like I don't know. As someone who's been gaming for decades now, it would just be nice to be able to play my volume of.
yeah, I mean,
You're missing out on PlayStation 3 games essentially because you should still be able to transfer anything that you've downloaded for the PS3 to the PS4.
Yeah, that's true.
So you do have all that, and you still have the PlayStation Network's library.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
If they said PS4 is going to be compatible to play PS3 games, I would trade my PS3 toward a PS4. I'd be like, that's incentive for me to do it because I can still play my games. But the fact that I can't, I'm not going to. There's no reason for me to do it.
Yeah. That would have actually been the deciding factor for me.
Yeah, very true. Very true. They'll both have cross-game chat. PlayStation, in terms of how you control it, PlayStation sticking with their DualShock controllers. And they'll have the PlayStation Move. Xbox is yeah, I guess they're gonna have their regular controllers, but also require the Kinect to be connected, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's
so they can
that's
watch
the deal.
your every move.
Jump back. What is cross-game chat?
I am assuming kind of like how in PlayStation 3 now, where you know how you could just click the PlayStation button and open your menu and bring up your chat menu. And, like, so if I was watching Netflix and you were playing Battlefield, I could send you a message.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing it's that, which is a good thing to have. Hopefully it'll be a little more convenient the way they have this one set up.
Right.
Second screen, PlayStation's got the Vita, and Xbox has something called Smart Glass. Do you guys know anything about that?
About
Nope.
what? No.
Smart Glass? I honestly haven't heard a thing about it.
I'm assuming it's probably some kind of touch screen.
They'll both Xbox will support voice commands. PlayStation, we're not sure. There will be PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live as before. Apparently, in both systems, your trophies will be transferred. Your achievements will be transferred. Ethernet connection. I have no idea if these are good stats. They're both 802.11.
802.11 is like the signal frequency, and it's pretty much standard. Yeah.
Okay. PlayStation will be Bluetooth compatible. So far, Xbox not so much. PlayStation will be HDMI. Xbox will be HDMI.
Region locking is a big thing.
Yeah, Xbox will be region locked. PlayStation will not. So tell us about region locking.
Region lock is just if I were to buy a game that... Okay, so if I can't find an American game, I could go buy a European game because we share the same language, more or less.
Yeah.
And PlayStation systems, Sony systems right now aren't region locked, so I can do that. If it's region locked, then an EU game wouldn't work on my PlayStation or Xbox. So you can only buy North American released games for your Xbox One.
So Xbox is really, really limiting people to what they can do. You're
Very
going to buy and play what we tell you for the price that we say, and if you don't like it, then go ahead and watch TV on it.
Which we will charge you extra for, depending on how many people are in the room.
And we're going to watch TV.
Does it detect cats? Because that can get out of control.
I can just see Hypnosode popping up on the screen.
Yeah, at Brian's house, it would be like, Cheryl, why is our Netflix bill $27? Because you've got 9 cats.
Delicious cats.
So any closing thoughts on E3 or any video games or systems that you guys would like to share with the
New
world?
Smash Brothers got announced, which looks really cool.
Can you say that into the microphone?
Oh, I apologize. The new Smash Brothers for the Wii U and 3DS got announced.
Just on that, to answer the argument between the systems, 3DS, because a lot of the games that I want to play on Nintendo, I can play on the 3DS. So I don't need a Wii U. I can just buy the 3DS port version.
Right.
Which, I mean, I'd rather have that capability than either of the Xbox or PlayStation 4s.
No, I agree.
I want a Vita.
You're probably one of the only few ones who ever actually said that.
Yeah, I know. It just looks cool. No, actually, you guys are like making a strong case for this Nintendo DS thing.
It's very fun.
The DS is awesome because the fact that it has the online store just like the Wii had, and you can download all the NES games. They're going to start having Game Gear games put it on there from Sega.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, there's a lot of really cool things, and it's just like we were saying, Super Smash Bros. Is coming out for the Wii U. They're also going to have a 3DS version. Monster Hunter also going to have a 3DS version.
And then
on new Animal Crossing, and they're making versions, and a lot of them are cross compatible. You can play the 3DS with the Wii U version if you're on the same network.
Oh, so you, like the Street Pass thing, like if we all three had Smash Brothers, we could all play with each other.
If we're in the same room, we could all play with each other.
But
yes.
more to what Matt's saying is if he had the Wii U version of Monster Hunter, I could come over with my 3DS version of it and join his game.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they cross, as long as you're on the same network, you can share that. And you can also, a lot of the games with the Wii U and the 3DS, you can transfer your save files. So like I'm playing on the Wii U, I'm like, oh man, I'm going out of town for a week. All right, I'm going to save my file on my 3DS, and I'm going to leave and play that same character.
Oh,
so
cool.
You can share the file. So I mean, it's really, really smart on Nintendo's part on how they're doing this. I think ultimately, I mean, like I've said, I think the Wii U and Nintendo, they're going to continue being like the champs because I love what they do, and they make it very simple, and they make it very easy for people to just play their games, and it's not a pissing match. They don't care at Xbox. They're not, you don't hear them like trying to really compete with you. Then like we're doing our own thing. And it's just like, oh, we now have a tablet, we have motion control, we have all that. Oh, look, PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Now they're following suit.
They're the junglers of the video game systems.
Essentially, they're setting up the ganks, and Xbox is going to be ganked first. Suckers.
Your hatred of Xbox
I hate
is
Xbox, man. I know,
palpable.
I know. There's a lot of people. I mean, like at the tournament that we said for the Injustice, there are people who wouldn't play because I didn't have an Xbox. Like, are you that stuck up? Like, just play the game on whatever console we have. Like, oh, I'm an Xbox only. Yeah, have fun repairing your system for $80. You putz. Next question. Thank you.
And on that note, let's move on to pop culture.
Uh-oh.
So there's only a couple of bits of news that I turned up that would be of any interest to nerds everywhere. The first one of which is that Dan Harmon is coming back to Community for the 5th season. Yeah. Brian's doing thumbs up, thumbs down right now, which is exactly how I feel. Because season 1 of that was amazing,
Fantastic.
and then the subsequent seasons weren't. But then the last season, which was specified in the article, lacked a lot of the show's heart, and it was more conceptual. And I don't know. I'm with you. I'm like, yeah, and kind of no, but yeah, because he did amazing things with the show in season 1.
Right, and he's also the reason for a lot of bad things happening in the later seasons, and I think the departure of Chevy Chase, if I'm not speaking incorrectly. So it'll be interesting to see his return.
What the hell has he got to do?
I don't know. There was just, I think, bad blood between him and Dan Harmon and the show.
What a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know. I think one of the articles I read said that he resented being like a television person now, essentially. After, I mean, he spent decades as a movie star,
but you're on a popular show.
Yeah,
like you're working. Like, what else are you gonna do? You're not gonna go back to making any more National Lampoon's movies. Like what else? You're not gonna do Fletch 3.
That would be awesome.
Caddyshack 2. I mean, what are you going to do?
Retire, probably.
Old fat Chevy Chase in the Fletch outfit.
These guys, they don't retire. They have too much pride and too much ego to be like, oh, I'm just going to stop acting.
Yeah, he
Rick
did say
Moranis is
he
the
took
only one
Community
who could
basically to pay for his. Like he said, well, I have daughters to pay for, or whatever. When he was asked why,
I have daughters to pay for.
I don't know.
Sean Connery quit acting.
Yeah, he retired a while ago.
Yeah, because he's
gentlemanly
selling weed now.
I would just like to go on record as saying that
Marty?
the Played Out podcast does not condone anything that Matt Heimerl says ever, and we are legally distancing ourselves from him.
Did you just confuse Sean Connery with Christopher Lloyd? I think I did. I'm the wild card. What's up?
Sorry.
I'm glad I missed that while I was trying to put our legal disclaimer together.
So sorry.
And, of course, the huge news in nerddom.
I can't believe this.
I'm turning your microphone off.
I read this, but I forgot.
Yeah, Matt Smith is out as the 11th Doctor.
Yay!
Oh, you're not a fan?
He's tired now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel extremely bored watching Matt Smith as the Doctor. And initially, in season 5, I was in love with him.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like lotion and tissues?
Yeah, almost. And then in 6, I was just kind of like, eh. And then 7, I was just like, get off. Go away.
I haven't seen 7 yet. Should I avoid watching it?
No, you should watch it for a couple of key episodes.
Oh, okay.
Mainly the departure of Amy and
Oh,
Rory.
that's right. Yeah, she goes on. Side news, she is signed on to the Guardians of the Galaxy movie as a villain.
Super excited.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool.
I love that actress.
They didn't say what villain, they just said she signed on as a villain.
I have a question.
Catwoman.
The 11th Doctor, does that mean it's in the 11th season?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure if doctors have life expectancy of 1 season.
Of the current season, this is the 7th. Prior to that, there have been numerous seasons.
Yeah, doesn't this go all the way back to like radio dramas or something?
Radio dramas, and then like the television started in like the 60s, I want to say.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Sounds convoluted.
Maybe a lot longer. It's very convoluted. It's time travel.
And then, but they have a big event coming up in November, right? The 50th anniversary. They're going to have all the living doctors.
Yes. Is that the special?
Yeah, it said in November it's the 50th anniversary special, and they're going to have all the living doctors, including Tennant, including Matt Smith.
Christopher Eccleston.
They said all the living doctors.
Who is denounced
Callista
Doctor Who.
I don't know. Did he? What's the story there?
He was just apparently he was really hard to work with, and he didn't like any of the calls made by the director, and yeah, he's basically like a snobby actor.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to the end of our hour and 10 minutes.
Can I just apologize to all the Brandon fans out there? I'm very, 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 very sorry that he's not here.
Oh, yeah. Brandon has one fan in particular who apparently was upset that I said that his choice of Chewbacca was not the best choice for a favorite Star Wars character.
Choice of Chewbacca?
Yeah. I don't know. I called him out even. I just was like, really? Chewbacca's your favorite? And then he said that he had a fan of him that got very defensive about that. So Brandon does have a fan.
Where did they get it from listening to this, or people?
Yeah, it was from our Star Wars show.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, apparently this person was like, just like, who is that guy that didn't like your choice of Star Wars of your favorite Star Wars character? And she was very upset.
Well, Brandon fan, Chewbacca is awesome.
Brandon fan, Chewbacca, probably the least awesome person in the Star Wars universe. Matt, too cool, Heimerl. I would love to debate you on that.
I'm turning your mic off.
It's been off this whole time. Don't lie to me.
Starship Troopers forever.